outside, but they're coming in the centre. They're coming in. It is the Vicky Sport Happy Wheels rider, but the rider in back, Ben Dewhurst in my opinion, gets there.
Welcome to week 2 of the 2024 Pointscore. Eastern Suburbs, Sydney City Skoda, Champion Systems, pretty much you name it. Everyone's on the list. But of course, this is our podcast from the Tuesday night. I'm your host for tonight, Alexis Kaless. I'm joined by a man returning to racing, Mr. John Sunde, after a few weeks off. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
And
Hi,
the
guys.
other one is the winner, recent winner of the Penrith B. Is it B or C? No, we're going to make it world famous now. You are a big star in the world of cycling. Not only has he got the voice of Taylor Swift, but he also has the legs of Wout van Aert. Mr. Paul Craft, you champion of late.
And the teeth of a window cleaner and a set of lights. I've got the meth head look today. I'm doing good. So, yeah, I'll get my new tooth in March. It's been a long road, 6 months now. I've had this thing racking around. But, yeah, keep it quiet, that Penrith win. I don't know how it happened, but I was pretty happy with Eddie Sallis on position number 3. That's cool because if you know bike racing, sorry, yeah, what did Eddie Sallis ever win? Fifth in the Olympics road race. So
yeah, he did pretty good.
He is an awesome rider. Oh, more than that, awesome bloke. But Alexis, you've stuffed it up on the first part of the podcast. You went and said it's week 2. It ain't week 2, John, is it? Because weeks round 2.
There's weeks, there's rounds, there's just everything going on.
It's obviously
been about 3 or 4 weeks since we've actually been able to do this and once again join because there's terrible weather, which I suppose almost looked like on Tuesday that we were having another dark and dreary morning. I rode into work, got completely wet, had to dry everything off during the day before riding to a nice overcast evening of cycling. John, what were you thinking there? Were you thinking it was going to be another round of dreary rain call-outs at 5 p.m?
No, I didn't think so. After losing 3 weeks, can you actually believe that? 3 weeks we've never lost 3 weeks of consecutive racing in the history of 40 years of Heffron. So there was no way we were going to lose a 4th week. No, we were always going to race on Tuesday night. It was a bit dull, but the racing was good. It was a great night, and I think everyone was genuinely excited to be back in the groove and just down at Heffron racing.
Yeah,
I agree. Regardless of the weather, you had to be racing. I had to be there.
I kind of got that feeling. I got that feeling, Alexis, as well. I felt that, it was overcast, but even if it was starting to rain, I've got a feeling that everybody just wanted to race. As John said, 3 weeks, that equates to a month since we saw Edwin Britz cross the line. It was 28 days to the day since that happened. So everybody wanted to race, and it was a rocking, beautiful night. Not too hot. Almost no wind. There was a bit of a nor'easter, John, would you say?
Noise a little bit, but it was very still conditions.
It was
Tuesday night and summer at Heffron. They're very still conditions.
And that equates to really, really fast lap times. So I did the lap I did record. A grade were riding in a 2:39. B grade were riding in a 2:51. And C grade were riding in a 3:02. So that was on that lap I took.
So 2:39 for an A grade lap on Tuesday night.
Correct. They were moving very fast.
That's quick.
It was. And the conditions did that. And the other thing A grade did very well was they realised their back was against the wall very early. Never once did they put it in the gutter. Even though the crosswind wasn't dramatic, they knew they needed everybody if they were going to succeed. At the end, are we going to give it away? They didn't get there because, Alexis...
They didn't get there. I was probably saying, it was a smaller than usual field. I think it was 74 starters on the night.
Yeah, it was.
And again, probably one of those things where you think, who's going to have the numbers? Almost the smaller the field, the better the grade races, because C grade were at it from the gun, rolled out, tearing times, and in the end, we essentially had 3 separate races. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah, we did it. We certainly had 3 separate finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. And to say, look, I know we're going to eventually go to Jack Bennett's interview, and he was as polite as he could in regards to the handicapping. I will back that a true handicap means that a C grade will get up every now and then, a B grade will get up every now and then, and A grade will get up every now and then. And that's exactly what happened. C grade got their chance this week. The handicaps
depends on the wind and the fields and everything, but yeah, I mean, C grade were obviously moving fast. A grade were moving extremely fast, but just the lack of wind meant that we didn't catch. So
Now, in the bunch, you know where the key moments are, the key points where you should be seeing C grade, where you should be seeing B grade. And today, you never hit those little mini goals.
no, so normally we catch them with 11 to go. We didn't catch them till like 8.5 to go, and they were still sort of on our wheel with 7, and you're not going to catch a whole lap with 7 to go. So it was just sort of no chance. We kept rolling turns to like 2.5 to go, 3 to go, and then it sort of slowed up a little bit because we knew we had no hope. But yeah, it is what it is.
The handicaps weren't too bad. When you look at it, there was about 15 seconds between each of the 3 sprints. At a guess, John, would you kind of say that's about right?
Yeah, it was quite even coming down the straight.
Yeah, so all 3 at one point, all 3 bunches were in the front straight on that, at the finishing. One was coming into it, one was halfway along it, and one was putting their hands in the air as Ben Dewhurst won his first. We're going to talk about that big time, but it is on time. So the C grade got a good advantage this week. You must have felt that, Alexis, when B grade rolled out. C grade were almost clicking their pedals in on their right foot, and then suddenly Cole goes, roll out. That must have caught you a little. Yeah, it was pretty quick, wasn't it?
I'd also say perhaps caught out our other racing extraordinaire, John Sunde, who was also pinning on a number on Tuesday night. But yeah, it certainly was, a slow. But also, you look at that handicap and the finish, you wouldn't have even needed a whole nother lap for that race to come together. I'd say if it would have been on the other, if the race finish would have been on the other side of the course, within half a lap, that whole race came together. So pretty much bang on time.
I will say, look, C grade got a good advantage. They had a better than normal handicap on Tuesday, but B grade was not on time. It was on sight, meaning that as they went into the hairpin turn, which Colin often waits for. And so the distance, however long it took them to get to that point, was when he released A grade. And so many times I've seen B grade come into the straight, A grade leave the blocks, and still A grade get up. Right. So the handicaps for A and B, they were pretty darn normal. And C grade had a bit of an advantage, and they took advantage of it wisely.
Although if you would have seen if you would have seen the last couple of weeks C grade performances, that timing wouldn't have been enough. You would have almost said, and the only reason that they really were able to get up was because from the gun, Julian Arias fired off straight away, got everyone chasing, and we probably had our fastest lap times almost for the whole year in those early 1 or 2 laps because riders were racing from the gun. It wasn't usual. Let's roll around.
In the words of Nicole O, C grade on their last 2 outings rode like a pack of arseholes. And as we said in the last podcast, once you get called out that way, you seem to do better the next time. And C grade, congratulations, you rode brilliantly. As Alexis said, that handicap would not have been enough on the last 2 outings if you rode that way. You rode perfectly, and they got the win. Are we going to talk about the win, John, or are we going to talk about something a little bit more controversial?
And the winner is well done, Ben Dewhurst. Ben's been racing on a Tuesday night, I think, must be his 4th year, and there's a little bit of family pedigree there because his father Neil was a prolific winner at Heffron in the 80s and 90s, and I tell you what, there weren't too many that could roll Neil Dewhurst in a sprint down at Heffron, and then, of course, Spurge came along. But great to see young Ben get that win. He's been knocking on the door of a C grade win, and what does he do? He gets the C grade win and the overall win. Pushed all the way to the line by Zach Millar. And Christian Quintero, he came in third, and he had another good ride.
Look, I saw him sprint. I reckon, he looked a bit messy on the bike, the Happy Wheels rider, in his sprint. I think he could get faster if he got that bike going in a more straight line. You mentioned Ben Dewhurst's dad, Neil. I was really impressed. And Alexis, I think this is a segue to the interview.
As hard as I could, and once I got a gap, and that's coming back from me.
And you did? You saw that gap and you went, I've got this, I've just got to keep pedaling?
Yeah, never stop pedaling at Heffron.
Cheers, mate. Congratulations.
Okay. So, look, really, really gracious in his win as well. He didn't big note himself in any way. And the way he won it, John, he was straight line sprinting. He led it out. He got to the middle of the road. I thought the action was going to come on the left in the wind side, but no one. He actually, I reckon, even over the last 100 meters, he kept on.
He was still gaining a little bit.
His lead. Yeah.
Great win. And it was a considerable gap between the top five and the rest of the group. Also want to point out, knocking on the door of the top five was Nicole Wilson, first woman off the line and 6th overall. So haven't seen Nicole down at Tuesday night for a while, so it was great to have her back. And well done, Nicole, on a top result.
I think it was only 2 or 3 places behind her. It was Lily Fassan. Lily Fassan also cracked top 10, didn't she? Let me just
Lily came in 8th.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alexis, awesome. You were in it. Boy, were you in it, mate. At 3 to go.
Yeah. I was chasing a man who seems to be almost think he's some kind of hare at the Greyhounds, Ben Farnsworth. That man seems to spend 3/4 of the race off the front by himself. But yeah, everyone.
He will get a win. He will get a win soon. I don't know when, but he's going to get it.
Ben's pretty keen to go to B grade, and I think he should. He even asked me the other night on Tuesday night, and and I watched him in C grade, and I said, "You're not the smartest ride, Ben, trying to ride off the front on your own." But
he reminds me of Phil Hersey from last season.
Yes, that's right.
Another manly rider who just constantly drifts off, and I think Phil he's still adjusting to B grade.
He
hasn't got that killer sprint, I think. So that he's just that perfect.
Have a go, Hersey. Have a go. Alexis, you rode brilliantly, but you also enjoyed the cohesion of C grade.
That's right. I mean, there wouldn't have been a rider in that bunch who wasn't rolling turns pretty much for most of the race. It was just constant. It was never the whole bunch working together, but there was always at least 3 or 4 riders at the front rolling around. And I think most of us were just motivated because we had to get rid of John. Like we thought, here we've got this old guy just sitting on the back. We can't allow him to be there. And sure enough, the first time A grade come past, who comes screaming up the outside down the straight? None other but Mr. Sunde himself.
I wanted to be in a good spot, and I was.
Okay, let's get to it. The controversy. And now I believe that there was controversy. Even on the side of the where I was doing the commentary, I saw A grade catch B grade going into the squircle. They came out of the squircle. C grade were being passed in the back. C grade should have lost distance. They didn't. And then coming into the straight, it kind of looked like 3 riders, John, were really close to A grade.
And I just don't get it.
I'm pretty impressed that you noted that C grade never lost real contact with you when you went through them. They certainly upped the ante when you went through, and that must have been a little bit of a gut-wrenching moment for you. Frustration, I should imagine.
Yeah, I mean, normally when we go past them, and then we gas it in the tailwind, and then they're nowhere to be seen. But because we didn't have that advantage, they probably just used us like a little target, and then they stayed very close for a few laps, and then that just sort of cooked us, and probably cooked B grade too.
But the good thing it did do for you was we're not getting up. That you knew straight after that you're not getting there.
Yeah, I think I knew with about 12 to go because they should have been in front of us then, and they weren't. Normally we can see them pretty much from the outset, and they were around the back straight, out of sight. So that's all right, though.
I can explain it. I can explain what happened and why it happened. when you get caught in the squircle, and there was a slight headwind in the back straight, right? A grade had to fin it to get through. When they got through, all their firepower was getting through. Then they hit that headwind and they're driving. Now, C grade are now in the draft of a headwind bunch.
That's
And
it.
C
You got
grade-
it in one.
Right, C grade honestly believe it's not our fault. A grade have slowed down. That they didn't slow down. They're just in a headwind now. So
That's
you
it.
C grade had the entire back straight in that headwind
That's
section
it.
going, oh, A grade are crawling, A grade are crawling. And guess what else C grade are doing? They're recovering.
Looking for a positive from the evening was how well B grade rode to not get caught by A grade.
They were spectacular.
So
They
I
were
mean, you could be saying,
spectacular.
C grade obviously had this advantage, potential advantage for being sucked along by A grade, but A grade still didn't catch B grade on the night. So
Correct.
full credit to all of the B grade riders who they worked pretty consistently
so
throughout the night.
And
Centennial
one
Parks
of the
were riding
one of the
really
main
well.
I was going to say one of the main instigators in the closing laps was Benny Coates again.
Yep. He got the teenage poos about 4 laps to go and went, we're not catching C grade, but he decided A grade's not catching us. And every time I looked, he was on the front. Did you see it, John?
Yeah, no, he was firing up.
It was amazing. He was riding really, really well. Now let's go to the 3 ride in the B grade sprint. There was a big fall at about 200 meters to go.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
It was unfortunate. 3 riders down. I understand Diego rode home, no dramas. Clements and everybody's favourite B grader at the moment, Matty Warner-Smith, hit the ground hard and suspected
Yeah, I
pelvis.
saw him. Pelvis, yeah.
Okay.
He won't be doing any 300-pound weight squats for the next 8 weeks, that's for sure. In fact, unfortunately, he won't be doing much at all except recovering. But the good news is no operation or anything like that. And Matty's back on the road to recovery, and hopefully we'll see him back soon. He's done it before, and I'm sure he can do it again.
So, look, I wish those 3 riders all the best, of course. But I saw Robbie Allen trying to get 2 wins from 2, but he never quite got there in the sprint.
Yeah,
That's
Jackson,
the thing.
yeah.
It didn't slow. The top 3 or 4, the crash did happen just behind them. So you'd almost say the top
Correct.
6 were essentially unimpeded.
Yeah.
So you can't take away Jackson Young, great sprint to get the victory over Robbie Allen going for the repeat, and Andrew Jacobs in 3rd, because those 3, they were at the front as they hit the corner and as they finished the race. So
I know, impressive ride by Jackson. Obviously that white skin suit that he's very fond of these days is paying off in aero gains. So well done, Jackson.
He looked good in the sprint. He looked fast, and the kit looks good.
Yeah, it looked good. Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to look damn good in A grade next week. Well, he's pretty keen, and so why not? He's got his result, outright win in B grade, and good result for the Centennial Park boys, 4th and 5th, Andrew Jacobs and Tom Hyde, and just to prove that C graders can become very competent B graders. Lewis Ray. Yeah, he's only been in B grade for not even half a dozen races, I guess. So top 5. Well done, Lewis.
I think B grade, they're starting to get that real. They've got a few people, like little teams now working well. Hydra Play are working well. You've got the Centennial Parkers working out the Randwick Riders, some of the East. Like it's starting to really gel that B grade, and
it is.
And it's showing. Not getting caught by a super quick A grade on Tuesday night, and I'm sure we'll move to their results just very shortly. But I think full credit to everyone who's rolling around there, and of course Nicole O, another one who finished quite high up.
Yes, she finished well, and I think a couple of mentions just rounding up the B grade results. Kind of give Rawley another shout out. 39 years he's been on the start line. Started the year in big grade, a little bit on the struggle side, but he wasn't struggling on Tuesday night. He was pulling his turns, and he looked good all race. And also wanted to welcome Rob Drummond's dad, Rowan, to racing on Tuesday night. It was good to see them both in B grade, both finishing together. So it was a good father-son combination.
And so I suppose just then moving into those final results, the usual A grade, once again, Jack Bennett took the cookies.
Yeah,
ahead
took the
of,
cookies
Tom
from
Bolton.
Tommy Bolton and Ollie Penny, but they were a little bit impeded by the guys that were in the middle of the track. That was a bit unfortunate.
Who came
Got to say,
fourth?
well done, Dave.
Fourth in
George Nemelet. Now,
Oh, that's the end George.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a cool dude. Yeah.
Where's
George
he
is
riding
great.
from?
He was here last year, and I must get a photo that you can post in the podcast, Crafty, of George's riding on the back of his bibs, and it's see you next Tuesday.
But
Get out.
where is he riding from? Who is this guy?
No, he was here last year. He's English. George is English, Latvian background, and he rides for a track team, which is GFPL, which is what he's got on his bib. Go fast, turn left.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's cool to really, he rides a bit of track as well. So that makes him an extra. And to be up there in A grade, I wanted to do well done to A grade in that the majority of them saw the fall. You know what? Let's turn it off. And they did it. Even Lockie Harrington or Harrigan, one or the other, he stopped and
Harrigan.
helped Matty Warner Smith. Well done to you.
So here we have the point score after round 2, which is rather interesting. There's a number of names there you look at throughout the grades, and almost like the series is wide open.
Look, A grade, back to A grade. Look, Jack has jumped ahead, and he is looking really good at not only securing that jersey, but possibly winning it with only a few weeks left in the series.
Yeah.
And I think let's go to the overall series. And I think there's a lot to be unpacked in what Jack had to say after the race today, on Tuesday. And the reason is he's so keen to win the trophy again, and this was a big opportunity without Kurt there. He'll get another shot at it. So there was a fair bit of frustration in the fact that A grade didn't get up.
Yeah, absolutely. It was.
Well, he's got plenty of teammates to help him and a whole other grade. I mean, also, I'm sure there's plenty of people in B and C who'd like to win as well. So, it's a tough call.
Moving on to B grade.
I think Robbie Allen's in the box. Robbie Allen, everybody loves Robbie Allen. He's looking good. Go to C grade. Benny Dewhurst, he's got to be ready for B grade shortly, shouldn't he?
Or he's got another week or so to enjoy the limelight in C grade.
But Zach Millar wasn't. Am I wrong? Was Zach not in B grade originally?
No, Zach was in C grade on Saturday, Tuesday night, but he will be in B grade next week.
Okay. Yeah.
Zach, I like the way some guys turn up at Heffron. They're very keen to ride C grade. Yet when they go down to, or go around to other circuits, or say Waratah Park, can I be in B grade? Yeah, so Zach, you're a B grader. You're not a C grader, buddy.
It's an interesting one, though, isn't it? Because if you enjoy success early on in the point score, you inevitably get moved up another grade, and you kind of start thinking, well, it's almost like you've got to leave your charge till the end of this season.
Well, Alexi, that's where you and I have got the. You know where I'm going with it.
Prime position.
You and I, we've got the jump on everybody. We're smarter, so we hold back.
That's right.
So it's an age-old problem on a graded points series. And this is one of the reasons why an A grader always has an advantage in a series over the year, is because when you start getting to the top of the pointy end of the point series, everybody's pointing the finger. They need to go up a grade. And of course, when they go up a grade, they're less likely to score points. No one can say that to an A grader. Kurt Efer, you need to go up a grade. There ain't no grade for him. So it is another real reason why A graders over the years so often win the series. And this is why also John gets so ticked off when an agent doesn't win it, because he's looking at somebody who he keeps on saying, you should go up a grade, and they go, no, I'm not going. And John, I could name 5 names right now and you'd get angry.
No, I wouldn't.
But let's not get angry.
You-
Let's look at how equal that women's score is.
Yeah.
Emma
How's that?
Jeffcoat,
It
Nicole
is-
Wilson, Lily
the
Fasad,
bomb.
all on equal points.
Yeah. So how about that? So all 4 girls have scored points. One girl has scored. 2 girls have scored 2 overall wins, and then the other 2, which would be Lily and Nicole, they've shared 2 points and 1 point.
So who wears the jersey then on Tuesday night?
Countback. Well, actually, Countback, it would be Nicole Wilson because she won the most recent race.
Okay.
Remember won the first one?
Yep. Okay. Look, it's going to be the series, like the jersey to watch is that women's one, because so many, and there can be, hey, the winner may not even have their name in the 3 points yet. We could get someone like Kira Will coming back after nationals and smashing it for a couple of them. It will be one to watch. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So here's the big moment.
Oh, the favorite moment of the week. Do you know the bizarre thing is there was literally a lap early on in the race, and I was like, John's got to actually bring a few extras because there's a few riders here who won't get rider of the week, but I'd be happy to give them a voucher right now. So yeah, Char Grill Charlie's rider of the week. So going back, Edwin Britz, he got the overall win at the Memorial, and he picked up rider of the week. So will it be the winner again, or will it be another standout? John, I'm going to start with you. Rider of the week.
I'm going to go for the C grade winner, Benny Dewhurst. Simply because it was a big night for C grade. They put in really well, maintained the pace despite a couple of moments there where they had a bit of an advantage. But mainly because Benny puts in week after, and he's been so desperate to win a race. I mean, just so desperate. And you could see that in the excitement when he crossed the line. So, Benny Dewhurst, my rider of the week.
Okay.
Right. So I've got 2 nominations, and I'm going for the people that I actually see do something quite dynamic. And the first one was also the joint winner last time we gave the award, Ben Coates, and we know why I'm offering it to Ben Coates, because he literally went, stuff this, I am burying myself at the front, and he did it really, really well. I'm not sure where he finished overall, don't care. He did not go to bed that night feeling fresh. He gave it everything. And there was another rider, and this one is in C grade, who gave it everything. Didn't make it to the finish, so I don't think he'll win the charge. But this Alexis Kaless, he got to the front and he pinged it. He straight lined it. He put C grade, and I'll put it this way. It would have only taken that one lap in C grade where people started looking at each other and it was over. They would not have won if they started looking at each other. So, and it was at the right time. So, Alexis, you get a nomination, but under your own rules, you can't win it unless you don't finish it.
I'd also say that was probably my only turn at the front as well. But and until you nominated me then, Paul, I was going to say, are you and Benny Coates sharing these vouchers? Because you seem to nominate him almost every week. But I'm going to throw another one in.
I'm jumping in before you go there. So what? If you've got a criteria and they achieve the criteria, you don't let your opinion, I've nominated. If he keeps on doing things that are as impressive, of course he's going to be rider of the week. But at the same time, Benny Dewhurst is well worth it. Alexis Kaless, did he blow some scalps last?
So Benny Dewhurst has got 1 point from John, 1 point from you. You've also given myself a good man. I got 2 points from you, and Benny Coates got 1 point. So that kind of puts me at the front there for 2 with equal.
But you didn't finish.
But there you go. Why did I film that finish? I would actually, though, I was actually thinking it's Julian Alias. I
Julian.
thought was
Yeah.
the best rider in C grade on the night. He did a mount from not only from the rollout, but then other people were going off the front. He was getting in every single move. Himself and the other Happy Wheel riders. Obviously, Christian got third, one of his teammates, and I think they've got one other in there whose name escapes me, unfortunately. But I thought he rode really well. So he would get my rider of the week. But that then, though, is outweighed by the two other ones. So, and that said, though, I am happy for Ben Dewhurst to be declared rider of the week, another C-grade compatriot. It's always a good sign. So 1 point to Julian, but Benny Dewhurst, you are rider of the week.
Well done,
So-
Benny.
Well done. Well done, Benny. Congratulations.
And from the sounds of things, you only need about another 50 Heffron wins until your dad says, well, maybe you're not too bad.
And spell that with him, Brenton. Harrigan on the Harrington on the front. Michael Shepherd is up there, right?
It's been a great week, round 2. We're all looking forward to round 3. Can't come soon enough. Entries are open on Pointscore. So jump on, get the entry in quick. And on that note, I think we should sign off with an image of George from Latvia's big field.
Absolutely. We'll get ourselves some borscht or something and, enjoy some good-looking kit. But, yeah, I think that's all from me. That'll be our last lap. I think entries are open, so it'll be another big week. C grade have shown that they can win. B grade have shown they can win. And obviously A grade will be very hungry, and Jack Bennett will want that victory next Tuesday. So it's going to be another quick night of racing. Paul, you'll be there entertaining the spectators as always. But until then...
I'm hoping to get a race in tonight at the Armoury and another one at Hart at your club, Manly. Hart's an awesome course, Criterion course. Get out. It's tough, though. I don't need to say seed because we're going to look at the Latvian arse, aren't we?
Are indeed. All righty. Well, for everyone else, see you next Tuesday.